here's what I wanted to show you, okay? So here's our web developers helper page. And we have 3 different ways that you can do it, okay? Option 1 is basically a link. You copy and paste this, and then you just change the little corporation key right here to whatever your corporation is, and automatically it can link out there, okay? If you want to go deeper, the next one is actually playing with the search forms and stuff. We list the page names, which form fields that they can take. If they want, they can take a URL variable, what it does, what's this, like, and then even some different options like saying, hey, can you show me an example using show? Okay, here's one that has show on the navigation. Okay, here's one that has hide, the exact same one with hide. Okay, so we just kind of are passing some variables. Display, here's one that's using small. Okay, what it did is that little thing, it just switched it right there, but if you actually went to something, say for instance, this is small icons, okay? If you wanted to go to a one that had bigger ones, if you change this to MED, it now flipped it to medium, and if you do the exact same link, automatically you're playing in a bigger ball game, okay? Basically, all of these things are kind of documented as far as what they do. How many do you want to show per listing, for this, for that? This is a web inventory page. Do you want to see it this and this and this? How about, like, basically there's tons of different pages and information there, okay? The way you get to this is if you go to your main Adilas.biz website, there's a thing at the top right corner that says Search Web Inventory. You click it. This is public facing, so nobody has to have a username and password in order to log in, and there's a link right on the top of the next page that says Web Developers. And it kind of explains a little bit about what is needed. Can I show you one that's using Adilas that we actually use it at the web service level? Let's see if I can. I'll just type it in. So when we first started, I'm going to go to Morningstar's site. Okay, so this is basically simple flash top banner thing, okay? But when I click on this, click, what it's actually doing is it's actually querying the physical database, okay? But it kind of still looks like it's kind of in a nice little Morningstar wrapper. If I click on this, this is a little dragster, you know, whatever. If you want to, it's the same basic features that you've seen other places, but we've totally kind of just put it into very simplistic type deal. Once again, you're still passing similar pieces along behind and all this kind of stuff. So you can technically play however you want. Say you wanted to see all the trucks. You're able to come in here and here's a Ranger, a little small one. Boom, boom, boom. That's great. You know, like that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. Oh, it looks like it has one of the cool little, you know, whatever you call that. Is that a king cab? Is that usually what that is called or something? You know, you could bounce wherever you wanted, but like this is literally, look at this. We're at morningstarauto.com, but we're pulling Adilas data. It's just public facing. What do you want to see? What do you want to do? So, if you wanted to go to trailers, say you wanted to be like, hey, what do we have under enclosed trailers? Okay. Literally, you pop in here and you just kind of start looking. Oh, wow, cool. Okay.
Is that in an iframe as well?
No, this is actually a physical, totally separate address. But it's. Do you want to see what it looks like? The standard. So let's find the stock number right here. Watch this. Okay. Okay, so 15308. I'm going to change some stuff up here at the top to actually go. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go search web inventory. Say I knew how to get in there. Try from here. Okay, so this is what we give it as a pre-canned version. Okay, so technically I'm under Adilas Web Services inventory, and I'm on a unit detail page for 15308. Okay, this is what we provide, this particular page, you would then kind of use the iframe and wrap that, or even take logos off or whatever you needed to. And it's literally as simple as going like this. Once you get to this level, you could even go like, oh, it needs a corporation key. Okay, now it needs this document. Like basically, if you knew the pieces that it was trying to get, it's going to keep playing and go according to that. So basically, what I was trying to show you is that we did it under the Morningstar thing, but we used web services, and we're pulling from different little applications.
So what you're hosting is the database portion.
What's that?
What you're hosting is the web services portion, though, the database.
Correct. And so technically, Morningstar Automotive can be in any hosting company that you want it, but it's technically pushing and pulling information across that we said, yes, let's let this go across public-facing type stuff. So we can do it with widgets and parts and different people who we haven't even played there yet. That's where we're headed. But like, say you have a bunch of stuff that you wanted to do, you can literally, anything you want to put out there, you can put it out there. Even your services, rental for XYZ meeting hall, you know, like you can push all that stuff out there. It's just kind of what is the public-facing. You can dictate a lot of stuff. If you're actually inside of Adilas and you're like, you know what, I don't want 15308 to actually show online, you can actually tell it inside so it won't show, okay? I'm going to leave this tab open. I'm going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to actually log in. I'll have to log in as me, but I'll tell it 15308, I don't want you to show up at all, okay? So I just copied that stock number. I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to go home. I'm going to log back in as me so that I can kind of get in there and admin play with that. And say I go into Morningstar. And say I pull up that particular stock unit. And go paste. So now I'm kind of in the admin. I'm in the world itself, like the secure environment. And I click on Edit Unit. And I come down towards the bottom, and I go just like this. Click. And I say, edit that unit. Okay, so now this is inside the secure environment. I'm secure. We got a lock. I'm in Adilas.biz. I'm going to come back out to the Adilas Web Services, and I'm going to say, let's see if I can get this one. I'm sorry. Basically, you can interact with your stuff. If you have certain photos, you can show how photos. It's content management built in line. Like versus like normally content management, like okay, this page XYZ, I want to change this caption and this and this and this and this. You're virtually as you play the game, it's inline content management type stuff. So I better undo that one just a minute. Let me don't want to get in trouble. But I'll just flip it back to show, boom, submit it, come back here, and we'll hit refresh on this page. Boom, we're back going again, okay? So when we were talking this morning and we were talking about stock units, like you would be surprised to see how many of these guys have actually rolled through thousands and thousands and thousands of stock units. Here's way back in the 5,000s, okay? This is a van that I bought from them and all this kind of stuff. This was way back when, you know. If you actually check the sold info, it'll tell you when I bought it. Oh, 03, you know, like or whatever. Like your data still just exists and exists and exists and exists. So let's advance the ball a little bit. Let's go to like 15,000. See which one was. Oh, it was sold. It was a topper, a Lear topper, and it looks like it was sold in the Montrose, Colorado location. And if I wanted to, I could even click on View Invoice. This is way back in 07. This was for $1,200, but like all data is live and searchable. So like this is where we started. There is tons and tons of information in here, but like It all just tells a story.
It's a bit surprising that you can go back that far in time, get all that information, and yet it's not particularly slow that I can tell. You know, like sometimes when you're searching back in time, it's like, maybe it's because it's archived or something. But.
No. Everything is running off of live tables. If I were to change this, it would literally be live right this minute, okay? All data is live and searchable. But what we do is we play little games as far as like how you hold and store stuff, but like the cool thing is guess what? This little page passed one little ID number right here, okay? Printable invoice, go get me 1510, okay? 15010. If I change this number to anything I want, say I wanted to say, well, it was invoice 1500, and I hit search, it goes and pulls the database back and says, oh, this one was a counter sale. Looks to me like it was a counter sale for $18. It had two D-rings that were sold. Okay, so this is just a widget, 18 bucks, 70 cents tax, and it looks like it was also sold out of Montrose. Basically, this page, all it's doing is it is going to the database, but it's filtering it by that ID number. Like if we changed it to something else random, give me a number, any random number, just for fun.
1267.
1267. We hit enter. Okay, another counter sale. This one was also done from Montrose, and this one was for a jackfoot for about $6. And in 03. Okay, so like wherever you wanted to go, you can just bounce. Let's actually add another 0 on the end of that guy and just see where that takes us. This one was sold out of Pueblo, Colorado, by Jeff. Counter sale. Currently says 0. I see 0 amounts. Looks like he was just playing and or it got migrated from an older system. Okay, but it tells a story of what's going on. Okay, like literally once you learn where your pieces are, you're just jumping and bouncing. That's all we're doing in the background is we're passing along. It's called a URL variable. But basically we're saying this page is a template, and then we can just, it knows how to react according to what the number is that it gets. So say for instance you did something like this, 25590. Oh, unable to find the invoice. Let's see here. Let's go like this. Okay, here's one that actually sold oil. Basically, this was a lube job right here. Okay, and it was actually for a stock unit 7142. So it created its customer, instead of being Sally, it was actually connected to a stock unit. So this one here was actually an internal repair, meaning that this information, this $31.45, got attributed to 7142. So if I go right here, I'm just going to go into edit mode and then go right into the stock unit. And I scroll down. This was for, here's some of your different little pieces of what was going on. Like these are some subs that were done on this particular thing as far as what's going where and how things were doing.
That's nice though, because whenever you sell that stock unit, you know that you need to recoup those costs as well as whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Correct. They start adding themselves in.
Those costs in there that you need to do something about.
Correct, and it allows you to attribute a lot of different things like that. Okay. Okay, so your question was, is there a way to kind of get that externally exposed to the outside? And the answer is absolutely yes. Okay. There's settings you can turn it on or off. Even like, hey, do I even want to show anything? And then all the way down to the granular level, like, okay, of the things that I am going to show, what do I want to do? Do I want to alter pricing? Do I want to do this and this and this? I can show hide whatever pieces that I want. And then there's other settings that you can go past that, saying clear out to the e-commerce level. Are you sure you want to really sell that? Do you want me to check your quantity before I present it? Or like we'll do a bunch of those different things for you automatically. So that's the e-commerce kind of portion. Okay, I'm going to log out, and we're going to kind of just come back to square one. And where would you guys, we're going to go in Adilas demo again. Tanya, you had said that we currently were in extreme transportation, just a fun little play site, okay? We made a whole bunch of different changes. If we go to our history homepage, we won't go through all of it, but I just wanted to review. Deposits, invoices, expenses. We've added a couple customers. We did time cards. We did et cetera, et cetera. Like it's all kind of coming back for the roll call, if you will. Okay, like what happened? What's going on? We had said that we were going to be talking about kind of general inventories and kind of items, if you will. And you had mentioned that you knew this business that was doing some wedding type stuff. So it had an older church building type thing, but basically it was a historic building, and it was used for different events. You know, whether you were bringing outside catering, or whether they were just doing a luncheon, or whether they were doing something like that. Where would you like to? What are your questions? And we would love to help you. Okay.
It would be nice to be able to, in a business like that one, to be able to start, well, typically they would start with meeting with the customer. So there would be things like taking a deposit, there would be things like adding payments. But also, in that service industry, there's a lot of choice. So it would be nice to know how many chairs to set up, how many tables.
Okay.
It would be nice to know, that there are different decorations, that they could choose to have 6 centerpieces, or they could choose to have 4, and you could charge them for that item.
Okay.
And then over time you could track, like maybe they would change how many they wanted.
Okay.
Do that. Is that
great? I think that's awesome. Let's look in our in our corporations that are under Adilas demo, and if there's not one, we'll create a new one. Let's see if something would fit in there. We have I'm just trying to look through there really quick. I don't see any particularly that are right there that would actually fit that particular thing, unless it was under this, say, this restaurant or something that you actually did some catering events. Should we just flip under that one?
Sure.
Okay, so basically what we did is we hit Switch Corp, which brought us up to this, and then we're going to go to Big Train Family Restaurant. We're going to switch into this little piece right here. So it already has some food items. Let's go see what it has. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to kind of explore what it has, and then we're going to kind of play along, if you will, to kind of add this in. Alrighty? So if I click on food items, and if you want to know where I'm at the history homepage. So from the homepage, this one has a retail dashboard as its homepage. From the classic, I'm going to go history homepage, go. And I immediately just wanted to kind of see what I have. It's like it has one customer and a couple food items. I'm just going to look and see what it has. And I'm going to actually go a little deeper into this, kind of see what we've got. We've got cheese and mustard and croissants and bacon and guacamole and all kinds of stuff like this. Okay. I was just kind of curious what was in here, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll actually kind of do it so that we can kind of create our own little scenario. Now, if you're okay, Tanya, what I'd like to do is kind of like get some goals, if you will, and then we'll go do it. We'll go do it. So you had mentioned that you meet with a client, right? Okay, what happens next?
They usually choose a date, so they'll book a date. Tie it to a date.
Okay.
And then they'll typically pay a deposit.
Pay a deposit?
And then they'll start making choices about like how many people they want to see, how many tables, tablecloths, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Type thing, okay. So they make choices, and then what do? I missed that part.
But things that I would have in inventory, something like a tablecloths, how many tablecloths for rent, how many tables, chairs, centerpieces.
Okay, great. What else happens?
Sometimes there's services, like they'll contract an employee to do serving or dishwashing or something like that for them.
Okay.
At an hourly rate.
Okay. Great, great, great. Not a problem, not a problem. All of those are beautiful. Let's actually, let's pretend that we're going to be using this little food, Big Train Family Restaurant just for fun. It's a play site, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go in and make sure that we can do all of these different pieces, but we're going to kind of slowly start walking through them, okay? And if we don't have the pieces, it might take a little bit longer because we have to kind of set them up, but then once they're set up, I want to show you how fast they exist. And it'll actually help you to be like, currently, it doesn't have any services at all. Watch this. If we go to the actual item, let me see what they call theirs, food item, okay? And I go to the home page there. They've got a couple different categories. They've got dairy, desserts, We're going to probably have to add some stuff for like rentals and services, and some other little categories, alrighty? So if this is our goal, say we're going to be kind of doing a little bit of wedding planning and catering, where would you like to start? Okay, like ideally you'd have this set up before you meet with your first client, because otherwise it's kind of like, oh my goodness, just a minute, I have to do this and this and this and this. So this is very easy. The client or customer is very easy. The dates, potentially very easy, okay? The deposits, that's actually tied to kind of what they're going to be doing type thing. The choices, the rentals on tables and chairs and stuff like that. This would be a great spot, I think, to start, to kind of load that so that when we're ready to do it, it actually is ready to play, okay? So if we're going to actually, let's talk about some of these rental items, and maybe you can kind of help us figure out what's going to actually be a part of this. Eventually we need to do this, okay? We need vendors, we need categories, and we need the items. Okay? So the vendor, what should we call this vendor? Should we just call it Big Train as the vendor? Okay, categories. Do we want to put this under rentals or services? Or we're probably going to have to do some services as well. But I'm just kind of trying to plan, if you will, and then we're going to go set this stuff up.
Because there would be some things that you wouldn't charge for, and some things you would.
Okay.
And so,
well, price is relative. If you want to say, hey, they need 14 of these things, and you wanted it physically on the invoice, even if it was a zero price, I would technically either put that in under verbiage or actually have that physically as an item, so that whoever's servicing that person knows that they need 14 of that item. Okay. Categories. So are we talking?
So some things would be decorations, and some things would be whatever tables and chairs are.
What would you call that actually?
Furniture.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
Furnishings.
Like that? Okay. Anything else? Eventually we are going to have some services. Do we want to put this right here right now, or do we want to line that back out later on? Okay, so these are 3 different little categories, and then we're going to add some different things underneath that. Okay, so let's talk items for just a second. What I'm doing right here is just kind of planning it out, and then we're going to be like, we'll just go blast right through it, okay? What kind of items do we want to do? So we know we want tables and chairs and centerpieces, and like what are some of the general pieces that we would want to do?
Okay, so like kinds of tables.
I don't even know. Whatever like just kind of pretend like you're in that environment, and you're like, okay, we have
6-foot round tables, and we have 5-foot round tables.
6 foot round, is that what you said?
6 foot round.
Okay.
And 5 foot round. 6 foot buffet.
E, is there an E at the
Yeah,
end?
this one.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just like that.
Just
Okay.
like that, yeah. And
I'm a
8.
terrible speller, by the way. Like, you can judge me however you want, but my spelling is definitely less than favorable.
Like, let's say a 4 foot cake table.
Oh, what was that?
Like a 4 foot cake table. And that's probably sufficient.
Is that what you said? Kick?
Oh, like to put
Oh,
like-
cake. Got it. You can tell. I'll tell that I am on that.
No, I thought cake first too, and then I was like, oh, cake. Yeah.
Cake. I got it.
Cake. Cake on the table.
That's probably good. For,
Okay, great. Let's talk chairs for just a second.
um,
Just general chairs. Are they all the same?
Say white folding chairs.
Okay. What other things would you consider either under decorations or furnishings or even services? We'll just list them all out and then we'll just blast them in.
Like a table to sign in, you know. To
Okay.
Put your gift or your guest book table, sign in this way.
Okay. Awesome. Should we do some tablecloths or something like that?
Yeah.
The high school cloths.
Clothes. It's fine. Just scratch that E out.
Okay. What else would you want? Like basically, think of your inventory and/or the items that you would want on an invoice. This is what we're trying to get.
So, white, silk, flower.
Okay. What else?
Hurricane lamps.
What was it?
Hurricane lamps or hurricane glass, I guess. I don't know what that would be.
Okay. It's okay. Go ahead. This is great. This is great. But basically, what we'll do is we'll end up kind of punching it through, and I'm actually going to have Shannon kind of come up and do some of this, just so you can kind of see somebody else doing it a little different. She can pop through this pretty quick. Okay. Let's maybe do a service or something. You said dishwashing?
Yeah, dishwashing,
Okay.
table service. Cleaning.
Awesome. Awesome. So you could keep going and going and going. Let's kind of call this our little list. So basically, we're going to do 6 foot rounds, 5 foot rounds, buffet tables, cake tables, chairs, assignment little table, some tablecloths, some silk flowers. So these are rental. Some of these are different little pieces. Some more rental stuff and some services. And it's all going to fit under this right here. Decorations, furnishings, and services. Okay? Shannon, are you okay if I let you run with this little thing? See how you do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I was trying to log back into Adilas demo. Won't they let me?
You want to let you in?
Everyone else's internet is working, right?
I believe so.
Maybe it's just me. Yes, I would love to come help with that.
No problem. I'll log in for you. I'll just put you back to the home page, and you're welcome to change whatever you wanted to. But basically, really quick, before we do this, like we kind of did a little planning, okay? We know that we're going to do some of these things. This is going to end up being in the customer, so that's one section, okay? Choosing a date, that's elements of time, that's scheduling and or invoicing, okay? Both of those are date related. Paying a deposit, that's on an invoice, and eventually we take that money and deposit it, okay? Making the choices, this is consulting, just dealing with the customer, okay? This is customer service. These little guys right here, rentals, tables, chairs, centerpieces, etc., this is where we're going to have Shannon work, and she's going to basically be, in order to load it in the system, it currently isn't there, we have to use a PO in the parts section, okay? We're going to use those two things to kind of load it in. Those are two other players of the 12 that we haven't even talked to, but that's how we're going to load those pieces. And then eventually, when we're finally ready to do the stuff, we'll pull it all out into an invoice, okay? So I'm going to show you one more thing really quick just so you can see the map version of what we've got going on. our current goal is right here. We eventually want to be able to sell something or quote something for this wedding, okay? We know it's going to be through a customer. Eventually, we're going to have to interact through a shopping cart to pull it out of here. Here's our rentals. Here's our services. Here's all this kind of stuff, okay? In order to get it in, we're going to pull it in this way. Vendor, PO, it gets it into general inventory, okay? Then I can pull it out as much as I want. We may even be dealing with this elements of time, actual scheduling and calendaring and blocking that time in, okay? Shannon is primarily right now going to be in this corridor, okay? She's going to do this part right here, vendor, PO, and general inventory, in order to accomplish the little pieces that we had just barely lined out for ourselves right here. The vendor, the categories, and the items. Okay. Shannon, go ahead and see if you can come on up here. We'll turn you back to the home page and let you roll.